In tonight's WGN Investigates, tracking the rise in fake prescription pills. More and more teens are dying after purchasing pills laced with the deadly synthetic drug fentanyl. But it's the way teens are gaining access to these pills that has a lot of people, including a well-known Chicago face, sounding alarm bells.
Our son Sammy was an amazing kid.
In just 90 seconds, Dr. Laura Berman tells the world the story that changed her life.
We had no idea that drug dealers were preying on our children.
She shared this public service announcement with WGN before it goes public. It's the story of how her 16-year-old son Sammy died after buying a fake prescription pill online.
An online drug dealer reached out to Sammy on Snapchat and delivered drugs to him at our home. What turned out to be a lethal dose of fentanyl.
It's been 3 months now, and I'm wondering how you're both doing.
Well, speaking for myself, I'm hanging in. Every day is different. Not taking it 5 minutes at a time, as much as maybe a day at a time.
And day by day, she learns more and more what's been happening over the span of the last few years. A boom in fake pills that are flooding the country every day. The DEA test lab is full of them.
Starting down here, we have counterfeit ecstasy pills, counterfeit oxycodone pills. I test close to probably like 100 tablets a day on a day that I'm like prepping a lot of samples.
It's been busy.
Very busy, yes.
What we're seeing a lot of right now is counterfeit tramadol.
And Chicago's Customs and Border Protection International Mail Facility has intercepted so many piles of packages.
This we suspect to be counterfeit sildenafil.
Space runs out quickly. So where are some of these things coming in from?
A large volume of the counterfeit pharmaceuticals we see coming in from India, from Mexico, and from China. Upon opening, we found some counterfeit pharmaceuticals.
In case the images don't give you a sense of the problem, perhaps the numbers will. In 2019, CBP's Chicago division seized 2,298 pounds of pills. In 2020, that number jumped to 3,892 pounds. And so far, in 2021, the count stands at 2,576, with 4.5 months to go until the end of the fiscal year. Think about it. That is 4 tons of pills in less than 3 years.
Drug overdose deaths are almost double what gun deaths are in Chicago.
The DEA's special agent in charge, Bob Bell, has been tracking the trend for well over 10 years, with drug cartels realizing there's big money in tiny pills.
And they look legitimate, they look real. And purchasing these drugs is just as dangerous as buying drugs on the street. There's no difference.
In fact, the biggest difference may be how they're marketed and sold.
I think people are starting to pay attention because of the fentanyl across the border.
Follow along as WGN Investigates does a little research on what's out there and how it's sold to kids like their son Sammy. Here's one. PharmacyTeen.com. The name says it all. It markets specifically to teens, advertising everything from morphine to Cialis, supposedly operating out of Indiana. Indianapolis, Indiana, with 2 A's at the end of Indiana. We know that's not right. In some cases, the websites are a way to get private identity info from unsuspecting teens. And in other cases, it's a way to sell drugs. We tracked the Pharmacy Teen website for 2 months before any kind of internet warning went up. And like this site, there are plenty more. The Alliance for Safe Online Pharmacies estimates that 35,000 online pharmacies are up every day.
And of those, 96% are operating illegally. So they're not complying with pharmacy laws.
And then look at this. A Digital Citizens Alliance investigation found social media platforms can often play a role selling guns and drugs. This chat starts with, "Hey dude," and ends with a $400 price quote for Xanax. WGN Investigates found that social media page is still up today.
The social media companies lean on the fact that they can't be charged with anything because of the privacy laws. And all they would need to do is put on their agreement when you sign up for a profile saying that if you use this platform to break the law, your privacy will not be protected.
Even when a case is as clear-cut as their son's death, it's often difficult to hold anyone accountable.
Has law enforcement stepped in? Has there been an arrest?
Nope.
No, we've had very little progress that we know of or communication. It's a situation where I think the police are overwhelmed. They are being cut back, and the cases are blooming all over town here.
They want platforms to do more, and they want Congress to step in. But all of that has the makings of a long battle at a time when the number of victims are adding up by the day.
And the DEA has been one of the lead organizations tackling this issue with operations that have shut down websites, led to many arrests. But every day you see a new site or a page pops up. Dr. Berman and her husband are pushing for all social media platforms to allow safety apps like Bark so that parents can track what their child is doing on those platforms. Some of them allow it. TikTok, Snapchat do not. So they are hoping to have